Alright guys, so I got the new Sousvide Art, Sous Vide, and we're going to show you how this one works. I just picked it up here recently. Pretty easy. So right now I've got the water temperature, it's 122 already because I use hot water out of my tap. But we're going to turn the power on. I want my temperature to be 130, so I can play on that, actually. And then I'm going to do this for an hour and 15 minutes. It only needs to really be an hour to 3 hours, but that'll make sure that it just gives a little extra time to be able to get the temperature that I want. So right now, like I said, it's 122 degrees. If we open this up, you can see that it's going to start to kind of run a little bit. You can see a little bit of vibration in the water, but that's got circulation happening now, which is what we're looking for. So we'll see how quickly it goes from 122 to 130 degrees. I'll keep a timer going, and I'll let you guys know when I get back here. Yeah, so just in a few seconds, it's gone from 122 up to 126. See, it's 127 already, so it's not going to take hardly any time at all to get this to 130 degrees where I want to cook at. I'm doing a little bit low on the temperature side, 130, because I want it to come out about a rare. So once I throw it onto my griddle and get a solid sear on both sides, I'm going to be able to not overcook my steak at that point. So I'll show you over here the bags that I'm using. So these are the bags that actually came with this system. And you can see it's got a really good zip across the top of it, which is important because you don't want water to get inside of it. I've already put some butter inside of my steaks. I've already put the seasoning there as well. And I've had these marinating for about 6 hours now, just sitting in the fridge. And this right here is actually the valve that you can use this on to be able to get your good seal on it. Alright, so I'm going to open one of these up just to kind of give you an idea of how well this works, because I was pretty impressed with it. So, I'll get air in there. You can hear it really clicking well. So you know it's got a good solid seal on it. So right now it's got a lot of air in there. So you just take this essentially and put it right on that hole and just suck out that air. There you go. You can see it's got a nice, good seal to it as well, again, already. So it's a really good, solid seal on there, which is what we're looking for. No air left in the bag, just a little bit, just enough of the juices to kind of move around the steak. But that's about it. Alright, so we've got the 3 steaks. I put a clamp across the top of them just to make sure that they're not going to float all around and get in the way of the sous vide. My little Liam helper here is going to open up the sous vide for me. And we're going to put these right in there and get them right down in the water. There we go. So we want them to be submerged, and so they are submerged right now. And so he's going to close the lid again for us, and we're going to snap this closed. And now we just have to wait an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll see how our steaks are doing. I'll do an update here in a second. Alright, so we're just now a little over an hour, and so we're going to take a look and just see how these are doing. We're going to pop this lid here. Liam, do you want to hold this lid right here for me so it doesn't fall backwards? Alright, and we're going to pull this real quick and just take a look in there. And you can see that they're looking a little boiled in a baggish. Now, I think I'm going to give them a few more minutes. Like I said, I want to go an hour and 15 minutes. But overall, these are looking pretty good. Let's take off this clip real quick. Take off the other one. Take a look at that steak. So you can see they look kind of like a pale brown. They're not that real crispy brown like you get on the Sear. But we'll keep these in there for a minute and we'll see how they do. So we've got a very wintry day out and we're going to go ahead and do this out here. So we'll see how this goes. But it's kind of cold out, so I came out here a little bit earlier and we've got our Blackstone Griddle right now on high as we can get it to go. I've got the lid closed just to help it stay as hot as it can get. I want to make sure that we've got this thing blistering because we just want to do a solid sear on these steaks and call them done. What else I've got over here? I've got the some ghee that we're going to put down on the griddle, and right before we put the steaks on there, we're going to put the ghee down, and then I've got a pan to let them rest, and so we're going to use that. It's just essentially a cake pan or a cooling rack that I can throw right in the griddle and keep it over the heat, but not let it get too cold by just sitting out. But in the same hand, we want that to be able to rest for a few minutes to be able to take all the liquids and be able to absorb that back up into the steak. All right, so we've got this griddle going as hot as we can get it. It's going to be blistering hot. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and open the lid. You can see all the smoke that's in there going on, and that's perfect. That's what we want. We've got all of our bags right here of our steaks. They're completely done, and so we're going to get these onto the griddle. Let's just do one at a time. I'm going to open this one up. All right, and we're going to take a little bit of our ghee and put our ghee right there on the griddle, and we're going to put this steak right over that ghee. It's running away on me. And we'll do number 2 now. So again, open up our bag. Have the steak ready. Get a little bit of ghee right on the griddle. And put the steak right on it. And last one.
Hey Daddy, I don't have to remove the string on this one.
Alright, so we can see we got the steaks going really good. It's not going to take long. They're cooked. So all we're doing right now is we're just going to get these seared up on one side. Sometimes I like to just push this on there just a little bit. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm just pushing down just slightly to make sure that all the pieces of the steak get a nice sear. And we're only going to leave these on there for about a minute per side or so. Alright, so while that's doing that, we're going to take a little bit of our ghee. And we can actually put this right on the second side. And we're going to flip it over. There we go. Look at that sear on there. Get in there real close, Liam. Let them see that sear on it. Yeah, that looks awesome. Alright, and while that's cooking over there for a minute, we've got some vegetables that we're going to put on this other side over here. I'm going to throw a little bit of ghee in there as well. And then I like to use some of this garlic salt on those. Alright, so we've got our rack now. What I'm going to do with the rack is I'm going to sit it right there on the back of the griddle. We're going to take these sticks and put the sticks right up on top of there. It's going to help keep them hot, but it's going to let them rest for a minute and be able to absorb all that back in there while I'm cooking my vegetables. need to let our steaks rest for at least 5 minutes, preferably 10, just to be able to get all the juices back up into the steak. You want all that flavor. All right, so we've got some Blackstone seasoning. We've already used some of this already when we were marinating the steaks earlier, but we're gonna put a little bit of this on top of those steaks that are done. We don't need a lot because it already has flavor. What do you think, Liam? Does it look delicious?
Yep, that's amazing.
I think it's going to be really good tonight. Keep turning our vegetables, get them nice and hot. Add just a little more juice to it. I like to add a little bit of butter right at the finish, just so you got that nice finish flavor to it. All right, we'll take this inside and see what it looks like in there. All right, guys, let's cut into this and see what it looks like here. I'm gonna cut right here through the middle. What do you think?
That looks good.
Looks pretty delicious. I would say that is a perfectly looking steak. Sous Vide does a great job. Let's take another cut of it and we'll take a bite here and try it. Very tender. Knife is going right through it, no issues. Fully nice and juicy. All right, let's see here.
What's happening?
Oh yeah, that's great. All right, so Liam's gonna give it a little cut here. And he's gonna let us know what he thinks once he gets it cut. Liam is learning how to use a knife, aren't you, bud?
Yep. This isn't my first time though, I've done this before. It's how Mommy and Daddy trust me with a steak knife.
Yep, we keep a close watch on him and he's learning. Let me get in there close on that steak and take a look at it.
That looks good.
Well, that's a big bite.
That's amazing.
Is that yummy?
That is amazing.
Best steak you've ever had? Awesome.
Totally.
Very cool. All right, we're gonna have Sean take a bite here too and see what Sean thinks. Are you ready, Sean?
Yeah.
Is that yummy? Best steak you've ever had? All right. Awesome. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.